Story of Diramuid and Grainee. The story all begins with the most beautiful woman in Ireland, Grainee, the daughter of Cormac Mac Airt, Ireland's High King. A man traveled from far and wide in an attempt to secure Grainee's hand in marriage, but she wasn't interested. It wasn't until a proposal was made by the great warrior Fionn Mac Cumhaill that Grainee said yes, she would marry him. A violent warrior and leader of the Fianna, Fionn was deemed a worthy suitor by the High King. Engagement celebrations soon got underway, and a celebratory feast was planned with attendees from across Ireland making the journey to congratulate the couple. Then Diramuid's arrival on the scene. On the night of the feast, Grainee was introduced to a Diramuid. Diramuid had been one of her husband's to-be's great warrior for many years. Oh, he was also Fionn's his nephew. It was love at first sight. Grainee was drunk with love and was ready to go to any length to get with Diramuid, no matter what it took. And here's where things started to get a bit mad. Yuna somehow came to the conclusion that the best way to get some alone time with Diramuid so that she could express her feelings would be to drug the entire party. Yes, she planned to spike everyone at the party's engagement party. Anything for love, right? All seemed normal at the party, and Diramuid, only having been briefly introduced to his cousin's wife, didn't realize that she had taken a shine to him. Then people started to collapse. Whatever Grainee's used to spike the food and drinking water started to take effect, and people started dropping like flies. After a moment, the only two people left standing were Diramuid and Grainee. It was then that Grainee confesses her love to Diramuid. To his credit, Diramuid backed off, but not because this mad lunatic in front of him has just drugged a full room of people. He backed off out of loyalty to Fionn. He had battled with Fionn for many years, and his love for him was like that of a father and son. He couldn't betray that bond, or could he? According to legend, Grainee wouldn't take no for an answer, and after much persistence, the two left the party and ran away together. The pursuit of Diramuid and Grainee began. Back at the party, the effects of the drugs were beginning to wear off, and Fionn and the rest of the party attendees began to come around. It was immediately clear that something wasn't right. At first, they thought that one of their enemies may have scooped in under the darkness of night and kidnapped the pair in an attempt to torment Fionn and Grainee's father. Then, after much searching, it became apparent what had happened. Grainee and Diramuid had fled off into the night together. Fionn believed that the two had been lovers behind his back when, understandably enough furious, a chase across Ireland. Fionn pursued Diramuid and Grainee across Ireland far and wide, but they hid inside caves, up great towering trees, and between every kind of nick and cranny they could find. After years on the run, Grainee became pregnant with Diramuid's child. Their luck, however, was running out. Fionn and his men began to close in. Sensing they were in trouble, a heavily pregnant Grainee and a fearful Diramuid fled as far across Ireland as their weary legs could take them, eventually arriving at the heart of Benbolben in County Sligo. Benbolben and the Angry Boar. The couple was said to have arrived at Benbolben in March. A spell of fierce snow has swept across Ireland, bringing it with some of the coldest temperatures the island has seen in years. Diramuid knew that if they didn't find shelter from the cold, death was a certainty. As they began to scout for a place to sleep, they laid eyes upon a great cave in the distance, rumored to be the cave of Creech. The young couple were about to set off on their journey up to the cave when they heard a grunt grunting behind them. They spun around and realized that they had been followed by an enormous boar. This was very bad news for Diramuid, whom according to legend had been told that the only living creature that could harm him was a wild boar. The boar charged and Diramuid dived at it, trying to overpower the wild beast. After a horrific battle, Diramuid killed the boar, but he didn't escape unscathed. The boar had managed to badly gore him during the struggle. The pursuit of Diramuid and Grainee across Ireland came to an end. As Grainee tried to nurse her wounded lover, Fionn and his men stumbled upon the scene. Grainee begged Fionn to save Diramuid. She knew that Fionn possessed the magic to heal her lover's wounds and that a drink of water from Fionn's hand would be enough to save him. However, still enraged by the couple's disloyalty, he refused. Diramuid was dying and Fionn's men begged him to help their former friend in arms, but still, Fionn refused. It was only when Oasis, Fionn's son, stood up to his father that Fionn finally agreed. He went to fetch water, but by the time he returned, Diramuid was dead. A tragic end to one of the maddest tales from Irish folklore. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I love you guys. Stay safe. I will see you in the next video.